know, I got that Granny Smith and I forget. I guess that's the only apple we have. Then we got the plum and apricot cross tree and a sour cherry. But you had 6 apple trees out here in the yard, huh?
Yeah. I had one cherry tree, sour cherry. Boy, it was real nice. Boy, got up big. Never got one cherry off of it.
That right?
I raised it up, big old tree, bloomed. I don't know what's been a male or sometimes you gotta have another tree.
That's right, yeah.
That's what it was, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. This one I got was specifically said that it didn't need another one
Yeah.
to cross. But yeah, they gotta have, a lot of them had to have 2 trees. I'm surprised nobody else had one that pollinated it though, you know, in this area. Must not have been though. So I don't think they gotta be right next to each other, do they?
No, it could be a little distance.
So did you all keep apples in the cellar then, or,
Yeah. And we
or
took
did you freeze them, or?
no, we take about 3 bushel to the, they had a place you could store them uptown. Real cool place, you know.
Like the ice house, or?
Yeah, no, yeah. It had probably had ice in there to kind of keep it cool.
Right.
Yeah, people used to take a lot of things up there, other kind of fruit, yeah.
So you could go out there and store it.
Store, yeah. Go up there and get a bushel at a time, bring it home.
I see. They have it in a cave or just in a
Just
building
yeah. It was a 2-story building.
Yeah.
They had a storage room upstairs.
I remember there was the old ice house downtown,
Yeah.
but the only time I went in it was a theater, and they had a play in there.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's still standing.
It's up north then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine it's still up there.
Yeah, that might be where that glass blowing place is or something like that.
Yeah.
Is that your homemade soup today?
Yeah.
Or homemade out of a can? Save that meat for dinner.
Yeah. I cut it like that so you get all the fat out of it. Just
Oh yeah,
all the fat out of it.
yeah. Well, fat's good for you.
Yeah.
That's not what they say though, is it? I don't know how you'd get all the fat out of a sausage like that. You'd have to
Yeah.
squeeze it real hard,
It's,
cook it, and throw it away,
and
and eat
homemade
something else.
sausages, that's the ones that really got the fat.
Yeah,
They put pieces of fat in it.
yeah, right.
But
I
that
imagine
ain't
they
up
got to put some in that too. You all made your own sausages, didn't you?
to- Yeah,
Squeezed them out with a sausage press.
yeah. They had one homemade one that we borrowed one time. It was about that long. You put your meat in there and you had to press it with your stomach. Boy, that's
Oh,
too
yeah.
hard.
Yeah,
you press it like that.
give you
But
good
we
stomach
didn't-
muscles.
We didn't use that very long. But
Yeah,
we had one of them sausage press.
that you cranked.
Yeah, boy, that sausage come out real fast.
Hmm Kind of a 2-person operation, isn't it?
Yeah,
One person holding on to the thing and
Oh, yeah.
twisting them up and pulling them off.
yeah.
Yeah, we got a little sausage press. We've done that a few times. Try to keep that keep it full, but you don't want to bust the casing, or you got a mess, and you kind of got to start over. Did you all ever have hogs down here?
Yeah.
Keep a hog or two, or
Yeah, about 2 dogs.
Two?
Dogs have 2.
and cows?
One, yeah, that cow.
One milk cow, 2 hogs.
One egg.
Any goats or anything like that?
We got chickens.
A lot of chickens.
Chickens, eggs, and milk. Well, we pretty good.
Yeah.
Like a mini farm.
Mm-hmm. Well,
We
that's
raised our own hay out there, part of that field. They had
down that
hay.
back field there.
Yeah. Corn, raised part of it, raised some corn in there. We had corn for the chickens.
Oh yeah, you got a corn harvester come through there? Or was that you?
Yeah, yeah, we've done everything by hand, shuck corn. They used to have a contest over the radio up in Iowa, I think, them corn huggers contest.
Oh yeah.
Come on the radio, boy, them. Yeah, you have a backboard on the cow, on the wagon, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They shuck it and throw it up against the backboard, bouncing, you know, wagon.
Hmm.
Boy, they just bang, 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 boy, that'd be real going, they pick it real fast, shucking,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah.
You hear it, you know, the radio, they had a radio right out in the field.
Hmm.
I guess come over that way.
Yeah. And you cut the hay with a sickle?
Yeah. It's on the side.
A scythe? Okay. Now, did you pile that up, or you didn't bale
No,
it? back
we had
in the
a
days?
loft up in the barn, yeah.
Just toss it up in the loft.
Yeah.
So did the cow stay in the barn most of the
Yeah.
time? Just in the
We had
winter
that
time?
garage there on the side, she stayed in there, and we kept the hay up there. Well, later on, we put the cow down the bottom, and we had 2 cows. One winter we kept down near the bottom. Yeah, they were beef cows. We raised for beef, so
Ah.
and so. Yeah.
Did you butcher them yourself, or you take them someplace?
No, we take them at sale up. They used to have a sale where out here where that little mall is. I don't know what it's called. Like that.
Oh yeah, at the Steamboat Bend Shopping Center?
Yeah, Steamboat Bend.
That's
yeah.
right, that
Big-
used to be
yeah,
the sale
big
barn
sale
there.
barn, yeah,
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah.
Because my dad helped build that strip mall thing there
Yeah.
when that first came up, I remember. So you sold it, huh? So you raised it for money?
Yeah. They have a calf, and we'd raise the calf, and we'd sell it that way too.
Mm-hmm.
Beef, boy, them calves, you know, when they're on a cow, boy, they get that milk. Boy, they're little, but they got the weight on them, though. They're
Mm.
real solid
Yeah.
on that milk, you know. As long as they're getting the milk from the cow, boy, they're real solid and heavy. When you sell them, you make a little money on them that way.
Yeah. Then what all did you have in your garden out back there?
Oh, we had everything. It's about, you know, all different vegetables. And it's potatoes and lettuce and radishes and about everything, you know. Then Mom used to raise some poppy seeds.
Mm-hmm.
They were big flower, and they had seeds up in the middle there, and she'd take it and they'd have a grinder and grind that poppy seed up and put it in the pastries, you know.
So pretty much all you had to do was buy flour and sugar, I guess. Huh?
Yeah.
You were pretty much set.
Yeah.
Now who tilled the garden?
Mom,
Did you?
most of the time that we after we come up from the army, she'd get up at 5 o'clock in the morning with that hoe, boy.
Yeah.
She could read a hoe, boy, fast, you know.
Would somebody come and till it up though with a horse? And
Yeah, they
once a
come,
year do that?
yeah, plowed up.
Plow it? Okay,
Yeah.
plow it.
Yes, pretty loose, you know, when you go to hoe it.
Mm-hmm.
And it,
But she'd get out there with the hoe and
yeah.
keep the weeds out and keep the soil good.
Yeah. And hill and potatoes, we raised a lot of potatoes.
And those you kept in the cellar, or you take those uptown to store
Yeah,
too?
we kept, we had about 12 bushel, we had it in a hole in the cellar there. It's down below the floor there.
Oh, yeah.
Concrete, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Put about 12. At one time, we
You
had
fill that thing up with potatoes, huh?
Yeah,
I saw the board over that.
yeah.
I wondered what that was for.
And one winter we had more than I could hold. I dug a hole out by the garage, or this side of the garage, and put them down that hole. Lined it up with some dry grass, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And put a big pole in the middle,
Yeah.
so they get a little air in there. The old timers told me that's the way they said that pole to get air down in there.
Hmm.
But otherwise it might rot on you, you know.
Yeah.
I put carrots down in there and they stay real tall.
Well, that's what you said. You bury stuff. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, they used to bury right out in the garden. They'd pile up our vegetables, they say. I never did do it, but they put a lot of dirt on there. That one first, they put the straw on, put a lot of dirt. And then when they get ready, they dig a hole down to the bottom, you know,
Mm-hmm.
get whatever they want, and close it back up. Years
That's
ago,
if you
they
didn't
done
even
that.
have a cellar, I guess.
They didn't have a cellar, yeah.
Yeah. Well, whatever it takes to have something to eat in the wintertime, I guess.
Yeah.
Did you butcher a hog in the fall
Yeah.
and then keep
Winter
that,
time,
you know,
yeah, winter.
put the meat in under grease in a barrel or something, or how'd you do that? Or you
Yeah,
just
we
put it
got
in the freezer?
put it in some of the barrel, some of it was smoked too.
Okay. And you could just leave that hanging in the smokehouse? Or?
Yeah,
Do you have a smokehouse here?
yeah, had it right out in the yard there. It was we had a shed there,
Uh-huh.
flood, you know.
Flood got the smokehouse.
Yeah, tore it up.
Did it have a dirt floor, or was it on a slab of concrete? Or?
It had, we put concrete a little later, had a wooden floor there. And when we had to smoke, we had a hole cut in the floor there. It had a fire.
Just
there.
make you a little fire, and
Yeah.
what do you smoke it for 3 or 4 days, or
Yeah, something.
or
like
even
that.
longer?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how long, but we kind of test it out. Probably take 3 or 4 days, maybe a week, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit at a time there. Hickory wood is about the best.
Yeah.
For smoking.
Yeah.
Hickory smoked hams or hickory
Mhm.
smoked.
That's what I've been using,
Yeah.
is hickory.
Yeah.
And some apple wood. My neighbor gave me some apple wood, and I said that's supposed to be pretty good
Yeah.
too. Any of the fruit woods
Yeah.
kind of give a good flavor, but that hickory is good and strong.
Yeah.
So. I do my smoking in the Weber grill, though I don't have a smokehouse. Probably ought to make one. That sounds
Yeah.
pretty good. Hang a few hams in there.
You want any information like our service in our overseas or anything, you know, in this?
Yeah, we'll get around to that too.
Okay.
In fact,
See, there's four of us in the service, World War II, with 4 boys that was in the family. Steve, Walter, and me, and Joe, yeah.
oh yeah. So all 4 of you were in the army.
Yeah, we were all drafted.
Well, I guess your mom was worried then, huh?
Oh, she cried a lot, yeah. And Steve, he graduated one day, and next day he had to leave.
Hmm.
He's just about 18 years old, maybe a little less, yeah.
Didn't get much time off there,
And
huh?
Uncle Walter, he's about the same way. He got shortly after graduation, he had to go drafted, you know.
Mm-hmm. And when did you go in? You
Oh,
worked for that conservation corps first, right?
yeah. Then after I got out of there. I got out of the Conservation Corps. That was in 1939. And 1942, when I left, spring 1942, I left for the Army. Yeah.
So did everybody go at the same time then, or
No.
you were first?
Yeah, I was first. Yeah. They come later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So where'd they send you first for training for the Army?
Went Camp Chaffee, Arkansas. We're close. That's close to Fort Smith. Camp Chaffee. It was a new camp built just during World War II.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
They trained after the war. They disbanded it.
Is that right?
Tore it down. Yeah. Some of the camps are permanent there. They were there before the war, and they're still there in some places there.
Mm-hmm.
Fort Leonard Wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got Fort. Let's see, Texas they got one. Yeah, Kansas they got one. Training. They used to have I think in Texas they had where they had the Arts Cavalry,
Oh
and they
yeah.
had it in Kansas too. They had a Arts Cavalry
Mm-hmm.
camp there.
But you were in the infantry, right?
No, they when the war started, they did away with the horses. They mechanized. They call it mechanized cavalry. They still call it cavalry mechanized. Yeah.
Right.
And
That's what you were in?
no, I was in the ordnance.
Ordnance.
Yeah,
so
we
that's
did
right.
mechanical work.
Right.
We followed the front, and they keep moving. We had tank mechanics. We had like a section, the assembly line. They bring in a tank. The mechanics that check the motor and everything to see if it's okay, and they might replace the motor or replace the bogie wheels or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe instrument section, they'd check the instruments on the sights on the big gun on it. They usually had a 75 millimeter on it was on a medium tank, and it had an M10 tank because it was a tank this far. It had a 90 millimeter, but it really had a power. Yeah,
Mhm.
It was a whole lot heavier. It was built in that medium tank. It didn't have a heavy armor like
Oh, yeah.
M10. Yeah.
Hmm. How many shells, of those big shells, would that carry in a tank?
Oh, they were big around.
They had 5 or 6 of them in there, or even more than
They had a
that?
whole bunch. Yeah, I
Did
don't
they?
know. They had several in there because they had to fire a long time. A lot of times,
Yeah.
And they could fire on a run, and they had a stabilizer that kept that barrel right on the target.
Hmm.
When it go down, that barrel would go up, and it had a stabilizer in there.
So you went from Camp Chaffee to Africa
No,
first, or?
we went to someplace out where he trained them guys that jump out of there.
Oh yeah, paratroopers or something like that.
I forget what they call them guys that jump out of there, that parachute out, behind enemy lines or
Mm-hmm.
someplace like that.
Stormtroopers or something.
Yeah.
Like that. But you traveled on a ship
Yeah,
over to
the Africa. Yeah,
Africa.
yeah. We were on the ship about 18 days.
Hmm.
Yeah, we didn't have to. It don't take quite that long, but for a while we had to circle around. Couldn't get into the port. That port was really messed up there in Africa.
Oh yeah.
They scuttled all our ships.
Hmm.
So the enemy, right in the harbor, some of them ships they had the bow way up in the air. Some of them they had a hole all the way through them when the shell hit them. They scuttled them all. They blowed them up, you know, and everything.
Just so you all couldn't use the
Yeah,
port
so
easily.
they couldn't use it. But they had a path, you know, right around them ships, so they had one ship at a time that we got in and out of the way.
So there was a whole bunch of ships that went over at the same time that you were part of a convoy?
35, yeah.
35?
Yeah. And one aircraft carrier, it was a converted aircraft carrier made from another ship.
Yeah.
They just cut the top part of it out and made a flat landing deck on there. Just, cause it was the beginning of the war. They didn't have enough, you know, things like that built yet. They just started building
Yeah.
them ships like that.
What was the name of the ship you were on?
Cristobal. They say it was a South American banana ship. That, you know, that all bananas out of South America to different states to different places. It was just converted to a troop ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have enough troop ships or anything. They had ships like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't have any bananas in it still, did they?
Huh?
So they didn't have any bananas in it still, did they?
No.
Too bad.
They say there was bananas out of it. The soldiers said it was a banana ship. I don't know.
Yeah, probably was.
It was a South American ship. It all
Yeah.
probably did all bananas and some other kind of fruit.
Did you get seasick when you went?
Yeah, everybody did.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Even the sailors, some of them, we all vomited. Boy, ooh.
Yeah.
We had to go down the stairs and eat down one flight of stairs. And boy, down that floor was real greasy. Oh, you know, all that. And that ship would go like that, would slide on that floor. It'd slide away from the table, then it would slide back in, maybe hit somebody with their plate, and boy, the stuff fly up in the air. Boy, that food would fly. Boy, we all laughed. Then you had to hurry up, get out of there, because you're going to start vomiting over the city. Couldn't hold out the food. Yeah, we had to hurry. Yeah, that water, Atlantic's real rough. Boy, just rocking. I'll go up in there, then the stern go up in there. You can see the two screws in the back that spin around. Yeah, when that stern ship.
Yeah. Now, did they fly planes around to check for the enemy, or did you see too much of that? Or?
No, they had not that. They had one plane on it. Well, they had the planes on that one aircraft carrier. Yeah. But they didn't fly them until about 2 days before we landed. I think they got off there. Yeah, flew around, and they had instruments they could check. They had them submarines, German submarines. You know, they sunk a lot of our ships. Back in them days.
That was a pretty effective weapon for them, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Their U-boats.
Yeah, they thought on our ship they thought they detected some submarines, and they dropped a couple of depth charges. They were big round 50-gallon barrels full of charges, you know, whatever they had in there, dynamite. They say when that explodes down in there, it turn a submarine over, sink it that way. That German submarine, before I went in the war, it sunk about 40 ships. Our ships, you know, before I went in the war, Graf Spee, that was the name of it. Graf Spee, G-R-E-S-P-E. I don't know what another letter there. Spee, how to pronounce Graf Spee. Yeah, they finally, the British cornered that submarine. They sunk it, and
Oh, that's
it was
good.
having a picnic out there.
Yeah. Well, a lot of those boats didn't have a lot of things to defend them, did they?
Yeah.
Oh.
You want to take some pictures?
Huh? It's running.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got that last. Now, once you got over there in Africa, where in Africa did you land anyway? In North Africa?
Northern part, Casablanca. Then we went.
Just like the movie?
Casablanca. The meaning of Casablanca is White Castle. White Casa is that's a castle.
Mm-hmm.
Blanca is white. Casablanca.
Did they have a White Castle there?
No, I don't
Remember
know.
one?
The buildings were not white. Yeah.
Yeah.
All in that city there,
Mm-hmm.
the buildings were white. Yeah. Maybe that's why they call it that. And we just kept working. They fought all along the, just pretty close to the edge of the North Africa, you know, up in northern part.
Mm-hmm. Was that desert or
No,
mountains?
Desert work down in south. This was more, just along the water, more of flat. Yeah.
Mm. But it wasn't too much mountains or.
Oh, they did. We did have mountains.
Kind
You
of
have to go
hills
back.
or-
You know, we went to one Atlas Mountains, part of Atlas Mountains,
Yeah.
and there was it froze ice up there on the stream of water where we went up pretty high on the Atlas Mountain. But most of the time we were most on the flat. You know, that's where they fought. You know, they didn't do no fighting up in the mountains there.
And you were back in towards the back, working on the tanks when they'd come
Yeah.
back for repairs?
Yeah. We didn't have much work up there because it didn't last too long. About 6 months, and they defeated the Germans there.
Mm-hmm. Now, what general was commanding your?
Oh, the general, they had a general there, I forget his name. He didn't, the second armored division, they lost 45 tanks out of 50.
Hmm.
First battle, the German commander, he wanted to test out the American troops, you know, and they lost 1,000 men too. Then they took that American general out. Eisenhower didn't like that performance, and he put Patton in there. Patton told the men, he said, "You either are victorious or don't come back alive." They got busy. Then artillery men, they fired their artillery real fast, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some of the color artillery units. They'd say, "Rommel, count your men now." Well, then kept firing them, and they defeated Rommel. You know, Rommel he made a drive for he needed a lot of supplies. You know, he needed
Right.
food and things for his soldiers. He made a drive to Ring Pass. That was a narrow place there, and he didn't want to get there. And they run him back to Ring Pass the third day.
Hmm.
They fired them, you know, artillery's in there. You couldn't. They couldn't make it that.
Couldn't make it to his supplies, huh?
And they say he turned a lot of the American prisoners loose, soldiers loose, you know, all the time.
yeah.
He didn't have no food for them.
Uh-huh.
He was a good general, you know.
Yeah.
But he went by the Geneva rules convention, you know.
Right.
They had certain rules.
Mm-hmm.
You wasn't supposed to mistreat no prisoner.
Yeah, I guess you can't starve somebody
Yeah.
just because they're a prisoner.
And all you have to tell them if you get captured, they told you, you give your name, rank, and serial number. That's all. You didn't have to tell them nothing else.
Mm-hmm. That's about it on that one.